Hello everyone and welcome back to a Gran Turismo video. It's another time trial video. Yes, there are two released this week and this is the second one. I'll link the first one at the end of this video. We're in the brand new car, the Ferrari 430 Scuderia at Tokyo, east clockwise. Yes, we don't use this track very often. We're on sports medium tyres. I've put annoying this one in terms of the difficulty because it's very annoying due to the walls. Gold estimate around a 2-minute 5.9 there as well. I do expect the rank 1 times to come down considerably because I've been on to breaking the rank 1 time, so I expect it to come down a lot. If you enjoy this video, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content, including these time trial guides every single week. Let's jump into this one then, and I've just changed the accelerating and brake bar down at the bottom there. I've made it a bit bigger. Do let me know if you like it or you don't want it that way, you want it back to the original, or you want it bigger. Maybe you want it even bigger. Do let me know, and I will change that for you. Gonna head towards turn 1 here then, long straight, and we're looking for that 200 board. We actually want to brake just after it, so I've highlighted the arrow sign on the right there because you can actually brake at that point as well. You may run a little bit deep, but you can bring it back. Just keep that in mind. So it's just after the 200 before the arrows really on the right hand side as we go hard on the brakes here. Down to third gear and we release the brakes there. As we start to accelerate, this car may suffer some power oversteer, so just be careful. Now, as the arch on the right side goes up, or using the lamppost up ahead here, you will want to brake a little bit. And in some cases, drop to third gear. You can maintain fourth on a wheel, but I found third gear is better on a pad, and I will show you that pad lap after, of course. As we go into here then, just be careful on exit. The car will want to oversteer there. You can see that, and be careful of that wall. I've invalidated a fair few laps due to that wall. Now, as we continue on here, we start to turn as we go under the bridge into 6th gear. We lift a little bit there just to keep on the inside here. And we're going to lift going into this right-hander as well. We want to keep a nice tight line here to try and get the best line for the chicane. And we're braking at those markers for the chicane, okay? You want to be in 5th gear at this moment in time. Hard on the brakes, but stay in 5th gear as well. It's all about stability through the chicane. You want to turn in early as well. This car does suffer with some understeer. This is what we're going to do then. Hard on the brakes. We turn into it. We get very close to the wall. We start to accelerate. We lift a little bit for the right as we continue on. The very best people at this time trial are not going to lift through there, but you lift. Just take a bit of precaution here. Plenty of time there available. So here we have this right-hander. We're braking just before the bridge, okay? That we can see right there. And you're going to turn in. Now, I invalidated a lot of laps by hitting the inside here. So you're going to have to be careful a little bit. You just dab the brakes for this one, okay? And as you turn in, notice that I'm trying to keep the car straight as possible without oversteer. Over towards the right-hand side then, and we're looking for the writing on the floor there. And we're braking before that, okay? So that's just our marker. The second we start seeing this, we want to hit the brakes and try and slow the car down. You don't have to brake for too long, though, here. It's just a literal dab of the brakes. Now, as we go into here, you see there, we're just monitoring the speed there, letting the car roll through the corner as we accelerate out. We go up here then, and just after the 100 board there, at the top of your screen is your brake marker. You're going to drop to 4th gear for this one and let the car roll through the corner. You actually want to be quite aggressive on the throttle as well, halfway through this corner. You can see where the 100 board here is on chase cam. So it's just after the 100 board, as I say. So drop to 4th gear, and you can see here, we're going to start accelerating quite early then, and over towards the right-hand side to quickly get over towards the left. Now, you have to lift a little bit before the shadow ends there on the right-hand side. You can use the lamppost as well as a bit of a marker. Entirely up to you, but I was using the shadow really just to make sure I start turning in. And this corner is brutal, okay? It's brutal. It's towards the end of the lap as well. Accelerate early, but be careful because it sort of comes out a little bit on the inside, and you will suffer invalidations hitting the outside wall and the inside wall. It killed many laps for me, that one. It was really brutal. As we head towards the final corner then, the 150 board, as it appears right there, this is where you want to go on the brakes, okay? So it's before it hits the rearview mirror at the top. I found that every time I tried to brake a little bit later, I just went a bit too deep. And in the end, actually braking early meant I could take a nice tight line and accelerate out of this corner because the car refuses to rotate at the final point. Now, I actually went a little bit deep on this particular lap, but it managed to bring it back nicely. Accelerate as early as you can, as quick as you can, but be careful. In 2nd gear, the car can spin out on the exit. You do have to be careful. Now, you are going to rev this car all the way to the limit. As we head towards the line then, this is a 2-minute 2.9. I was on for 2-minute 2s for days. I was actually on for rank 1 a fair few times as well. But that corner I was talking about where you could hit the outside wall and the inside wall towards the end of the lap, yeah, it killed so many laps. What we're going to do now then is going to go to the pad lap then. Okay, so this is on our pad, as you can see there by the info down in that bottom left hand side. I'm following my own ghost here as well. And what we're going to do, we're going to head towards turn number 1. Remember, we're looking for the 200 board or the arrows on the right, the last one on the right-hand side. So either of them, we're going to hit the brakes here. Now, on the pad, you do use lower gears in some corners. On this one, though, it's the same. It's third gear. Notice I'm trying to do the exact same here. But on this next corner, I'm going to stay in third gear because I need to get rotation. And the only way to do that on a pad is to accelerate, force the rear wheels to spin. And you can see I did that there before going to fourth gear. This is the same though, so as we go under here, we start to turn in, we go up to 6th gear, we lift a little bit, try and maintain that inside line. Bit slower speed there as we go into the right then. It's just because we also from Bunster. We drop to 5th gear, hard on the brakes at the highway markers. As we turn into here, just be careful. Remember, you can lift a little bit there, but I did it flat on the pad. That was me taking a bit of a risk as we continue on through here. The bridge here, you want to brake and turn in, let the car roll a little bit and then start to accelerate over towards the right side. The second we see the markers, the white markers there, we turn in, let the car roll, then start to accelerate when you know you can make the corner. As we go up here then, the 100 board, just after it, hard on the brakes, 4th gear, turn in, try and be aggressive on the throttle. Notice that I'm trying to get on it very early here, and before the shadow, lift, let the car turn, start to accelerate in 4th gear. This corner actually easier on a pad, I would say, actually, just because you can control the oversteer that little bit better. We head towards the final corner then, and remember, it's when the 150 board is just before the rearview mirror, hard on the brakes. I think I do this quite tight here on the pad. Yep, I do much better line here. You can see that. Look at that. We gain on the Ghost very quickly. We don't quite get the exit right. That's just me struggling on a pad. Remember, I don't use a pad every single day. It's once a week, if that, just for the time trial guide. Okay, we're going to head towards the start-finish line then. This is a 2-minute 4.1, I think. 2-minute 3.5, I would say, is possible on a pad. You may start to struggle to go quicker than that once you get that low, but there's very few people who could do that, I imagine. But even so, you can see a 2-minute 4.1. Try and beat it on the pad. We go to chase cam then for this final one. ABS is on default. You can see that on the left-hand side. I'll also put it in the description as well for you as we head towards turn number 1. You can see there we're hitting the upper speed limit of this car. It is a fantastic noisy car as well. So the 200 board there, hard on the brakes here, dropping down to 3rd gear and releasing the brakes, letting the car roll into the corner. That's what you have to do with these new physics now. You have to let the car perform. Your tyres can only do 100% of something. Remember that rule. So in this case, start to release the brakes as you turn in, and the car will continue to slow down, and you'll also get that turn in that you are after. So just under this tunnel here, the bridge there, we turn in, 6th gear. We're trying to maintain that speed much quicker than on the pad. And let's go into this right-hander. We lift off a little bit, drop to 5th gear, and at the highway markers, hard on the brakes. And we're going to chuck it into here, try and get as close to the wall and left as we can. And then through the right, it allows us to take the best line there and maintain that speed. It's all about momentum on this one because then you've got this long straight here. Under the bridge, a bit on the brakes, let the car roll through the corner, then start to accelerate when you know you can make it. When you see the highway markers there, brake, turn in, let the car roll through the corner, and then start to accelerate. It's all about letting the car do its job here, rather than trying to force the issue. The second you start getting oversteering this car, there's lots of weight transfer, so you don't really want it. And I suffered it a lot on this corner here. As I go into this, you can see there I was a bit scared on the throttle, so actually it did compromise my time a little bit as we continue on out of there. The final corner, again, I did go deep on this lap, so you can take this nice and tight, and I would prefer that line personally if you're going to try and do this. It just gives you a bit of safety margin, but I go a bit deep here. I do bring it back nicely though, and it's very hard to do that as we continue on out of there. Then just be careful about clipping any walls. I was on a really good lap once and clipped that barrier there just randomly because I kept trying to get as close as possible. Very annoying, very annoying. All the penalties on this are very annoying, but at the end of the day, it's to stop wall riding, and I'd rather it stop wall riding and I get frustrated because I'm trying to race too close. In the end, this is a 2-minute 2.9, which I am happy with. I'm not going to jump back on this one because it can get infuriating, and that is how you do the Tokyo lap here in that Ferrari 430 Scuderia. I do hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember those tips, of course. Let the car roll through corners where necessary. You do have a bit bigger margin here because it's a longer lap to get that gold time, so hopefully you do get those 2 million credits. Only 1 week for this one though. If you have enjoyed it, give it a like, do subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content, but I'm going to leave it here, folks. Do check out the Subaru time trial, it's right there for you, and my first preview of the patch there on the right side. That was a fun video to make, and I do have a look a bit more in detail at the patch. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video live stream again very soon. And check out those two companies in the links below.